The NORD series has always been OnePlus's golden child, good price, good specs, that sweet value for money tag, and the OnePlus NORD 4 sold like hotcakes. And now this is here, the new OnePlus NORD 5, packing in some big upgrades and legit 3 downgrades we did not see coming. And just to spice things up, I'm going to sprinkle in some freshly launched competition too. So hit that subscribe button, keep watching till the end because we're going to find out if this NORD is nodding or not. Okay, so let's start with the design first because this looks nothing like the NORD 4. Yeah, the all-metal unibody design is gone. The NORD 5 comes with a glass back and a plastic frame, and this is more practical and honestly still feels nice in the hand. I mean, the frosted back is nice, no fingerprints or smudges. It has this cool 3D pattern and yeah, kind of feels like marble. And yeah, we've come full circle back to the OG NORD 1 style camera module. But then again, this looks and feels like most phones do and not something unique like the NORD 4. Now for the big change, the iconic alert slider is gone. In its place, the plus key, which made its debut with the OnePlus 13S. So you can set it to mute, unmute, DND, use it as the camera button. Yeah, all options are here, and I know this button, this UI is all iPhone inspired, but for a mid-range phone, this is pretty awesome. And yes, you get the AI Mindspace feature too, which we saw in the 13S, and this works great. You can save anything to the Mindspace app, and it uses AI to analyze things. It shows you all the details very neatly, very useful. It's good to see that OnePlus is bringing 13's AI features on the NORD series. Anyway, coming back to this design, it's not all good. See, the NORD 4 was a bit narrower and easier to hold with a rounded back. The NORD 5, it's a little wider with flat sides if that's your thing. And this is again a big phone. I mean, here it is next to the POCO F7 and you're basically looking at twins. The NORD 5 also weighs in at 211 grams, although it does not feel hefty. The weight distribution is good. But yeah, if you want a more handy option, the Edge 60 Pro is your only option. Apart from this, the NORD 5 gets Gorilla Glass 7i on the front, there's a pre-applied screen protector, and you get a case in the box. Now, one area where I expected this to be better is the IP rating. I mean, this has the IP65 rating, same as the NORD 4, but with phones like the Edge 60 Pro, the POCO F7 bringing in the IP68 and my favorite 69 rating, this is a bit disappointing. Anyway, still get the dual SIM slot here, no eSIM, you get NFC, an in-display fingerprint scanner, and even an IR blaster. And this is still a USB 2.0 port, so not a lot of upgrades here. Now the display does have a few upgrades. I mean, with all that extra width, the NORD 5 fits in a bigger 6.83-inch AMOLED display, same size as the POCO F7, and there are 2 upgrades. One, this is a 144Hz display, which honestly isn't that big of an upgrade because this is not LTPO and the screen only goes to 144Hz in game, so mostly you're using it at 120Hz or 90Hz. The other upgrade, and this is the useful one, is the brightness. The NORD 5 screen has 1400 nits in high brightness mode, up from 1100 nits, and this actually makes a difference. Outdoor visibility is better now. Apart from this, the screen looks good. It's vibrant, it's sharp, has HDR support, and I've been using this to watch a lot of HDR movies. And yeah, in something like the Mindhunter, the dark scenes, the colors, the contrast looks great. The speakers on the NORD 5 also deserve a shout out. I mean, you get dual stereo speakers here. They're loud, clear, and kind of just balanced right. To give you an idea, the NORD 5 speakers are better when compared to Moto or iQOO. The POCO still kind of edges it a bit, but it's still great. Haptics are on point, too strong and crisp, nicely sprinkled everywhere, kind of expected from OnePlus. Now coming to the performance, there's one upgrade and a downgrade I was talking about, remember? So this is powered by Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, which is basically the 7 Plus Gen 3 from the NORD 4 with a higher clock speed, slightly better modem. One good thing is there's no 128GB model, which is awesome, but then there's the downgrade. This has UFS 3.1 storage, no UFS 4, which was present on the NORD 4's 256GB and above variants, and you can see the difference in speeds. Even the 8 Gen 3 does not bring a huge upgrade compared to the 7 Plus Gen 3 NORD 4, especially in benchmarks. And yes, while it does beat the Moto Edge 60 Pro, it is no match to the 8 Gen 4 in the POCO F7 or the iQOO Neo 10. Anyway, we all know these are just numbers at the end of the day. What we really care about is the day-to-day performance, the real-world performance, and that's where this is pretty solid. First of all, stability in 3D Mark is top-notch. Day-to-day usage is also very good, no matter how many apps you use, and even when gaming, the FPS is very consistent. So we basically tested 2 intensive games on this, Wuthering Waves and Genshin Impact, and both of them at 60 FPS, and here are the FPS test results. I mean, you can see that the average FPS in both of these games is very solid. We even checked the temperature after an hour or so of playing Wuthering Waves, and the device got warm, yes, but again, this temperature is very normal. So the Nord 5 might not be the most powerful smartphone in the 30K price segment, but the truth is this seems to be optimized well. Anyway, coming to another round of upgrades and downgrades. The battery is not big at 6800 mAh, but the charging is slightly slower at 80 watts. Honestly, not a big deal if you ask me, but the battery life is a big deal because it's great. Look, if your usage includes gaming, you can expect a screen on time of around 7 hours. And if you're not a gamer, you are looking at 8 to 9 hours of screen on time, which is awesome, almost 2 days of battery life. And the 80-watt charger also charges the phone fully in 1 hour, which is not bad. Now the big point, the cameras. That was the weakest point of the OnePlus Nord 4, and OnePlus here has made some changes. So the Nord 5 gives a Sony LYT 750 megapixel primary camera, same as the 13S and the 13R. The front camera is also upgraded with 50 megapixel Samsung JN5 sensor with autofocus and 4K 60 FPS support. Yeah, still not telephoto. Ultra wide is still stupid at 8 megapixels. But credit where it's due, the 250 megapixel cameras are way better now. Just check out the photos. You will notice that the image processing is pretty similar to what we've seen with the OnePlus 13S. So you get vibrant, contrasty photos with warm tones and plenty of detail, whether it's bright daylight or low light. And at this price, this is good stuff. We clicked some comparison shots on the Nord 5, H60 Pro, POCO F7 and the iQOO Neo 10. And while it's usually a close fight for the top between the Nord 5 and the H60 Pro, the Nord 5 kind of pulls ahead with better HDR, more detail and better edge detection and blur in portraits. The Moto has more natural colors and also retains a lot of detail, by the way. In selfies, all 4 phones do a good job, but the OnePlus and iQOO have better looking selfies. Check all the images for yourself. Let me know which phone you prefer and drop a comment if you want a detailed comparison of all 4. Now in terms of videos, the Nord 5 can shoot 4K 60 FPS on the main, 1080p 30 FPS on the 8 megapixel ultra wide, and like I said, 4K 60 FPS on the front camera. Finally. And the videos are punchy, pretty stable, no focus hunting or exposure issues. But yeah, selfie videos kind of soften the face quite a bit for some reason. So the Nord 5 does have some pretty solid cameras for the price. The Moto H60 Pro does edge it out, H60 Pro, with its better ultra wide and a telephoto camera. But if there's anything below this or kind of comes as close, it is the Nord 5. In terms of software, this is running the usual Oxygen OS 15 based on Android 15, and it's super smooth with those fluid animations and all the customization features we've loved in the OnePlus 13 series. There's also all the AI features, and yes, it comes with OnePlus's own dialer with live call translation, summaries, plus the ability to record calls without alerts. Super handy for creeps. And this will be getting 4 years of Android OS updates and 6 years of security patches. And as for some pre-installed apps, you do get some of these apps here, but they can be uninstalled. So let's get real. I know this price range has a lot of competition. There are a lot of good phones. So the big question clearly is, should you buy the OnePlus Nord 5? Now I know this has some downgrades. It's not an all perfect phone. Still no telephoto, still 8 megapixel ultra wide. It's still a big phone, but I think this is more practical with its upgrades that a lot of people will appreciate. Brighter screen, way better primary and selfie camera, better battery life, good performance, and the new Plus key. If you ask me, this is a very solid, safe pick for a lot of people. Having said that, if you want more power-packed performance, the POCO F7 is obviously a great choice. And if you want a better IP rating, wireless charging, a more versatile camera setup, the H60 Pro is very good. It's just that you'll have to live with a curved screen and more slow updates. Anyway, I hope I've really answered your questions regarding the OnePlus Nord 5, but if you still have any more questions, comment down below and I'll answer them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Make sure to hit that subscribe button.